Hi, it's Susie from Pink Diamond Guide, just dropping by to do another quick reading for the collective, and particularly for twins in separation and who are really feeling it right now, who are in either no contact or the contact that you're getting is really limited. And I've got a bit of a special guest helping me do readings today. So I've got Ricky, my twin flame, here. He's going to draw some cards for the masculine, and we're going to have a bit of a look and see sort of what he brings forward in to help share the message. We're super keen to help anyone who's really struggling, because I know this over the last little bit it's been really intense. We've had the Sirius Gateway playing out, and we've had the Schumann resonance is lifting, like Mother Earth's heartbeat has lifted, and also that big, anyone who sort of follows quantum physics and is interested in all the experiments that they do in trying to smash particles and all that kind of thing, they've just lit up the machine again. So they're smashing particles over there in that overseas. Oh, I don't have the name of it. You know where they do they're smashing the particles to find the smallest particle that's in existence, or the God particle. So they've restarted those experiments overseas, and if you're sensitive to that kind of thing, you're probably feeling the effects of that as well, on top of everything that you're going through with your twin flame journey. So we're going to read from the perspective of the divine feminine first and foremost, and see what energies are pushing up against you, and then we'll get Ricky to draw some cards for the divine masculine and pull it all together for a reading. Let's have a look. All right, divine feminine for you. What have we got? Four of Wands. We've got the Page of Wands. We've got the Eight of Swords. We've got the Strength card. We've got the Ace of Pentacles. Oh, and look, we've got the Two of Cups. This is actually really positive, guys. It's actually an encouraging reading given what's been going through. And look what we've got coming through from the bottom of the deck. Let's dig to about there. Look at this. Again, really encouraging some healing, some time in meditation with our Four of Swords there. That's been coming through a lot for you, divine feminine, to really spend some time on you, you know, in connecting into those higher realms and bringing through knowledge and information to help you come to terms with everything that you're going through. It has been a bit of an isolated time, especially for those who've got no contact at all. And you know, we've been speaking to a bunch of twin flames online and through readings that we do and the work that we do to support, saying that's been particularly tough. So here's Spirit again pushing through from the bottom of the deck. This is kind of how they set the room. The energy that they've got available for you, divine feminine, is some seriously healing energy. So a great time to spend some time in meditation and download knowledge, especially with that Sirius Gateway open. It's open, you know, we're talking 4 days, I think it was, up till the 6th, 7th of July. So another couple of days, great time to spend in meditation and download some more information from the divine while that push is available from the universe. What have we got here? I like this for you, divine feminine. A bit of more, oh, hang on. One in the middle. We've got the Page. Oh, you guys keep drawing the Page of Cups, don't you? We keep getting that. You know, like the offer's not ready yet. So Page of Cups comes through, still a little underdone. It is. You know, the universe is still trying to bring through love and affection, and the Page makes that sweet offer, absolutely. So the universe still does want you to feel this cup of love, but when it comes through as a Page, it's often underdone or immature or not quite ready. But then what I liked, what I saw here, is a bit more light-hearted energy trying to push through. So we've got the Three of Cups there. You know, Three of Cups can be read a number of different ways, but in this particular instance, what I'm seeing in this one is following a time of some serious healing and a push from the universe to bring some, you know, that gentle, if underdone, love energy through. You get to celebrate a little bit and just feel a little bit more light-hearted. This is time with friends, celebrating, having a good time. So the universe is trying to lighten the energy on your behalf, which is, I mean, that's good news from where you've been, isn't it? Under here we've got the King of Pentacles, so we're still working really hard to you know, we're getting our work done in a day-to-day way. So we're showing up in the 3D world. Look, we're a little bit more light-hearted. We've got some more fun energy coming through, but we're still getting the job done. So King of Pentacles goes about his business in a very practical way. You know, he goes after what he wants. He's very switched on, very smart. Could run a business, could be who knows what he's doing, but he's in charge and his world is stable and solid. This probably feels like you've got your home life under control. So that's a really nice push coming through from underneath the deck, setting the table for you with, look at this balance that you've got going on. And this is the exact kind of scenario that we're looking for. If I take the page out of there, because I like this as a sequence for you, Divine Feminine. Look at this. This is really what brings about your ascension. You know, look at this. You've got connecting to the 5D, spending time in meditation, learning what you've got to learn, living life and having fun, and getting about your business, getting it done. What the only sort of rain on this parade, but I don't see this necessarily in a bad light, because the Five of Cups is actually a solid energy to bring around ascension, learning, and it does help to create the void. Now, the void is where these unions do spring out of. So if between a masculine and a feminine there's a gap, and this is what creates the runner chaser phase. So the universe wants to have a gap in between you two, so that both of you are working to fill the energy. But when one pulls away and refuses to put the energy into the connection, oftentimes the other person is left being the only one doing the work, and it's really stressful, it's really hard, and it can push this into this space where it's just, you know, there's a lot of sadness, a lot of remorse, a lot of heavy energy that comes upon it if you're always the only one putting all the effort in. And if there's just one person putting in and filling the void for both parties, there's no way that other person is going to turn around and begin to help, because they're not going to feel the pull on it. They're not going to feel any need to come into that scenario and start to fill the gap. So what Spirit is suggesting here, look, both parties having their back turned and leaving a void, so that this one starts to feel the pull and wants to turn around and starts to contribute to the connection, not just always the chaser who's been the one with your thoughts and your feelings and your actions. It fills that void between you. When they run and leave the gap and you're the one putting all the energy into it, it leaves you just feeling exhausted, tired, wrung out, hurt, in pain, craving. But if you can be healthily detached and leave the void between, that's where the universe creates from, and it's what makes the pull happen to have this person turn around and start contributing too. So that does not look to me like it's a bad thing in this scenario. Like, that's so balanced as what Divine Feminine is asked to do to bring these connections together. You know, heal, connect with the divine, live your life, have fun, get about the work that you need to do, create a void for your twin to turn around and start to contribute as well. And I've just thrown the cards everywhere. Excuse for a sec. Hang on. We got it. Okay, so let's have a look at the actual reading that we've got for you. So that's how Spirit is setting the table for you, Divine Feminine. What have we got? What are they pushing? Look at this, Four of Wands. They do want you to have unions. They do want you to be happy in your connections and live a life of solidity and comfort. And the Four of Wands keeps coming out for you. Whether it comes out in the upright and it feels like a push against you, that you're starting to crave union again and you want to draw it towards you. If you do, this is how you do it, right? This is how you do it. Not by chasing and stalking and harassing or any of the above. This stuff. So if you need to listen to it again, rewind, because this is what brings it forward. But the universe is saying they do want to have you thinking about what it takes to bring your connection into union. Divine Feminine, it is a push against you right now, and I know that your gut feeling is going to be that you just want to chase. You just want to go, oh, this push is so strong, the pull is so strong. All I want to do is find out what they're thinking, what they're doing. Is this coming into union anytime soon? So this is coming up for you in that way. How are you showing up in the universe? You want to go get it, right? And I know I'm talking to as many of you as I can to be supportive. In the Page of Wands goes after what they want. They're sitting at the starting line. They know what they want to go after, but the idea is not baked yet. It is just, it's here. They know what they want. It's passionate, it's creative, it's on fire, and they're at the starting line and they want to go get it. But this is the path ahead, okay? You've got to be ready for that path ahead. It's not a flat running race, it's not a 100-meter dash. This is a 12-mile march, and to get to the end of the 12 miles, you can't burn out too soon, okay? This is the goal. This is the goal. Happy, comfortable unions. How do you get there? What we talked about, the universe is setting the room so that you will be good and ready when the time comes, when the, if it's a meal in the oven right now, it's still cooking, and this is what you do in the meantime while it's cooking. You're at the starting line and you feel the push to want to go, but the page is not the one who gets across the finish line. He's the one who starts the journey. So if this is a journey of ascension and you are feeling that push really intently, this stuff is what you've got to do to get yourself moving. What have we got in your soul space? It's a kicker, isn't it? And this is what we're talking about. You should not have swords in your soul space. Your soul space is for feeling and intuiting and for experiencing the divine. And what have we got in your soul space right now? We've got the Eight of Swords. So you are using all of your you're using your mind to feel, which we don't want to do that. This is where ego gets in the way. This is where overthinking gets in the way. This is where we want to hot-foot it on a 100-yard dash just to get to the finish line. This having Eight of Swords in your soul space is why pain moves into suffering. Like these connections bring on pain. That separation brings on pain. We acknowledge it, we know it's part of this journey, and we know it's something that this process is in place to help get you through. Pain doesn't have to be suffering. And when your soul space is loaded with this many swords, it becomes suffering because you're using your mind to try and override the process. What I love about the Eight of Swords, though, even though it does have those heavy connotations, especially when it comes up in your soul space, these swords aren't connected. Divine Feminine, they're not connected at all. At any point you could push through the bars and not cut yourself at all. This is not a prison. This is something you can free yourself from. How do you do it? This stuff, right? Acknowledge the pain, feel it to heal it, create the void, all of the above. Get about your business. Have fun with your friends. Spend time in meditation with the divine. These are the kickers to not leaving the Eight of Swords in your soul space, because this is where the suffering is. What's the advice, or what's your challenge? Your challenge from Spirit, look at this. Look at this, and this is what we're experiencing right now. What we're seeing across twins in separation is they're really struggling for inner strength, not to tip into this space where they just want to chase. They just want to get on that 100-yard dash and get to the finish line, because the push from the universe right now is to get you into union. You're feeling it. You're feeling it on 50 different levels. So what you're struggling with right now is to have inner strength, not to tip into that space where you go back into chaser mode. You go back into chaser mode, then you're going to fill that void between you and your twin. They've got no reason to turn around and help you create together with the divine. The void is the kicker, and that takes inner strength. This here, it's not about physical strength. See this? We've got pillars here. These pillars, they're built of physical strength. This person is using all their will to hold up the force of the universe. This is your personal inner strength, and right now it is being challenged, and the universe is acknowledging it. This too causes pain. So we're offering these readings right now to the collective who are really struggling, to say we see you and we know that it's tough, but if we all work together and share how tricky this is to get through, we'll be able to get through with less suffering. I'm not saying that we can alleviate pain, because it is part of the journey and there are things to learn from the pain, but we don't have to suffer every single day through having to overcome challenges like having inner strength and having all of these swords up in our soul space. What's the advice from Spirit? The advice from Spirit is the Ace of Pentacles. So this is getting busy on whatever the next chapter is that brings you stability. See, I could read this in a general reading and just go, oh, this could be a new business, it could be a new job, it could be a new anything that brings you stability or connected to the home front. But that's not how I'm reading the Ace of Pentacles in this reading. It's directed at twins who are in suffering, and by and large the ones that I'm talking to are divine feminine. So the advice from Spirit when I see the Ace of Pentacles on this particular journey is to get busy on the next part of your ascension. This is work. You're about to have some new understandings, and like I said to you, this is a perfect time to be able to meditate while that Sirius gateway is open over the next couple of days. Spend some time in meditation, and whatever comes through to you, note it down in a journal. Lean on the collective if you've got information that you're not sure about but you feel like it's pivotal. That's why the collective exists. I swear that I would not have got through my ascension journey without having the support of the collective and other people who understood and could help me break down what all the information was about. So to me, this is you've got new information coming for you for your ascension process. See these stairs? I'm leaning really heavily towards the stairs and the stars. It's almost like a gateway in the stars, isn't it? The Ace of Pentacles. So if you can take this, oh look, even there's another portal at the back there. See that? If you can draw down this information over the next couple of days, to me, this is the start of the next phase of your ascension, which will bring you closer to your goal, which is, I mean, your goal at the end of the day. Union is one thing, but you coming into alignment and understanding this journey is part and parcel, and that one comes first. Your ascension comes first, and then what's the likely outcome? Look what we've got. The Two of Cups. Spirit is saying to you that unions are on the cards. You know, it's not saying you're going to live in this pain and suffering forever. And timelines are a funny thing. They are. Like, time and space exist very differently for the divine. You know, it doesn't stack up like it does for us. So how long this process takes is how long is a piece of string. How long do you have to work through these steps? Again, I say to you, how long is a piece of string? But I'm here to help you unpack it as you go and support you in the moments that feel most like this. So, you know, this is what they're pushing for you, Divine Feminine. Four of Wands and the Two of Cups in one reading. Wow, that's some powerful stuff, isn't it? This is like, and I love the Four of Wands with its 11-11 symbolism, and the Two of Cups, that more gentle soulmate energy. So they are pushing you to have you come into better days, but how are they going to get you there? You got work to do. It's time to get to work on the next phase of the ascension. This is not going to be a 100-meter dash. And for that, we see you, and we got you. So what we might do is, Ricky's been busy shuffling over there, so we might get him to grab us 6 cards, and we'll have a look at what's going on for the Divine Masculine. What do you got for us?
I do.
Radio.
That's your first card.
This one?
Yes, ma'am.
King of Pentacles.
King of Pentacles.
We did have the King of Pentacles come out too from the bottom of the deck for the Divine Feminine. Feminine. So when you have repeated messages, it really is something to pay attention to. So we've got the King of Pentacles pushing through from underneath the deck, which is taking care of business in a very formal way, and we've got the push for the Divine Masculine from the universe is to start to work towards the King of Pentacles taking care of business. What do you got? Oh, you got the Death card. So look, I like this for the Divine Masculine. If we've got the King of Pentacles, which is the push from the universe, it's asking him to step up, to get on task, to get on mission, to show up properly. The King of Pentacles shows up properly and he takes care of business. Now, what he's showing the world right now is the Death card. So it might be a pivotal line in the sand that he's coming to, where, you know, the Death card to me is always a sequence of that was yesterday, here is today, and tomorrow is there, and they're very distinct spaces. You know what I mean? It's like he's showing up. Maybe he looked one way yesterday, and then today he looks another way. Tomorrow, that change has actually made its mark. It's a line in the sand change towards where he's headed. And if the push from the universe is to start to take care of business, this is a really positive sign from the universe that there's some kind of shift starting to take place. What we've got in his soul space, though, and this is where it slows us down, isn't this an interesting sort of play by play that's taking out over here? So in the divine feminine, and remember, we're talking about two beings that share an energetic soul blueprint. So when I talk about sharing an energetic soul blueprint, I describe it as if you can imagine that the quantum sea, or where everything, the all, the is, the everything sort of takes its source from. Imagine it as a never-ending ocean that goes into infinity, and you can't even fathom where the beginning and the ends are. But it's latent potential. It's not anything until consciousness is applied upon it. So for the analogy, imagine that the divine takes a glass and goes into the ocean and scoops up a glass of that potential. And with that consciousness applied, the latent potential becomes form. And we're going to assume that one glass, one form equals one person. So when twin flames are formed, imagine that initial glass, the divine then takes another glass, and instead of scooping water out of the ocean, he just tips it from the glass that he's already poured. So you've got two glasses sharing that original scoop of water out of that latent potential that is the quantum sea. Now you tip that water back into the ocean, it all becomes potential again. We're all one, we're all connected. But once it's scooped up, first it goes into one glass, so that's one human, one soul walking around with that soul essence that was latent potential. Consciousness applied is now real. Tip it into the other glass, so they're sharing the same soul essence as they move forward. So this is what we're talking about with what these cards, how these cards are playing out. So you've got the divine feminine all locked up in her thoughts. It's kind of like in a soul space. Swords are not what you want to see there. Like it's thinking in your soul space. Soul space is for intuiting and for feeling and receiving messages. And this is like, you know, this keeps her in a bit of a prison, overthinking everything she's feeling and doing. What we've got for the divine feminine, the masculine, the divine masculine is some very defensive energy. So in his soul space, it's like, I don't want to feel, I don't want to intuit. So if we look at them as mirror images and going, this one's completely overthinking the feeling and the intuiting, and this one's going, I don't want to feel it at all. That's not a balanced soul space. And this is why you're feeling it very, very intently, divine feminines, because if you're overdone in the soul space with how you're processing it, and this person's not processing it at all, here's why we have no progress. Line in the sand, stop. But the push is to really start taking care of business. What have we got as a challenge? Ooh, I like this. I like this. Look what he's got as a challenge, feminines. It's you. It's the Empress. It is the feminine who's done her work. You're the challenge, and look at you. If you are the challenge that's showing up for him right now, and the pull on you will then be to chase, right? Because remember what we're saying with these two here is that, what did I do with them? Over here. See, if this is the gap between, and this person is moving that way, the pull is going to want to pull you towards them. What's your challenge? Is to resist the chase. So we still have that dynamic playing out. You are, look, I'm going to say you are showing up, like your energy is present. What is he doing? He's resisting it. Really, you know, that's a very defensive energy for the soul space. What is his challenge? His Empress, you who's ascended and done your work, and you're about to move to another level yet again. What is your challenge? To have inner strength. If that's pulling you that way, you've got to get on with the job of ascension, not chasing him if he's refusing to do the work. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, because to me that's a really pivotal message. What have we got as the advice? Isn't this interesting? Isn't this interesting? So here we go with, again, a repeating energy. You've got this in your soul space. He's got it in the advice from spirit, right? So it's going to get him all tied up in a very physical way in his thinking, in his 3D thinking, in the process. But look at how different the energy is. This one is like this eight of swords is much freer than this eight of swords is. The bars are closer together, more tightly bound. Can't see, blindfolded, and see the water underneath their feet. The only way forward, if they follow that path of water, they'll actually be free. And to me, water in spirit, water in this language is spirit leading you. So if this character in this picture just kept feeling with their feet, following their water, they actually wouldn't cut themselves on the swords. They can't see them, they can't feel them. The only thing that they're really connected to here is that puddle of water, and they might be feeling it, spirit, just as a puddle of water right now. And the only way forward that they've got to get to this push is to keep following spirit. Keep following that puddle of water till they're free of all the swords. And we know the eight of swords is really about being in a mental prison. But to me, look at this, it's more than just a mental prison. Physically, this person is bound, not having a lot of freedom there at all. So it's pretty intense. And I like the idea that the only way out is to follow spirit. What have we got as a likely outcome? Oh, again, look at this. Look at this, Divine Feminine. I don't know what the timeline is for this to come around, but look at that energy, the Wheel of Fortune in the upright. So that is the Divine Masculine doing a 180 into better days. Better days. But to get there, look at the process. Look at the process. We've got to free the soul space. We've got to go toe to toe with the challenge that is the Divine Feminine. And here, we've got to learn to follow the divine. If he can learn to follow the divine, feel with his feet what the path was, he doesn't have to have all the information. He doesn't have to know what all of these swords are all about. He just has to not get cut by them. So he doesn't have to have all the answers to ascension to follow the divine. And Ricky, did you have all the answers to ascension when we sort of start, you just kind of followed your feet with the divine.
Still following the feet.
Yeah, so it's like to be able to come into union, he doesn't have to have all the answers to these swords. He just has to keep following his feet and listening to the divine to find his way out of what will feel like being in a mental prison or being stuck, being trapped. Have you got the bottom of the deck there? We'll just see what was pushing up.
Sure do.
So what do we have? Ooh. Ooh. I like these. So I'm going to take these four. What we've got pushing up from the bottom of the deck that Ricky shuffled for us there, and he's been focusing on how is the room set for the Divine Masculine, and what comes through here. Look at this. Look at this. The divine really wants to transform, to have the magician come through. That's led into gold, Divine Feminine. That's a massive transformation. True alchemy. Look at this. Three of Wands, ships coming in, really starting to feel the effect of the changes that are going to be pushed against him. This push by the divine, and this is what they're trying to set for him if he follows his feet. Now, please don't pick on me about genders. I'm saying him and her just because it's more general. But if genders don't fit that way for you, please exchange as they suit. But look, the divine wants to transform, wants their ships to come in. Look at this. Look at this. The lovers. They really want them to be learning all of the energies, all of the lessons that the lovers card brings forth. Now we know that this is not it's not this version of soulmates, is it? Like the lovers comes through when we're talking about that higher level connection, and the lovers have far more challenges. They go through temptations, they go through struggles, they separate, they come back together. There's so much that plays out, and look, the divine all this time is their constant connection. The sun shines down if that is their joint start point of origin. They go through so many processes, and look, the fruit on the trees over here, and the terrain even is challenging. Look at that mountain. The mountain is red. Like they go through so many things to be able to come together. It's not you slam dunk, straightforward soulmate cycle that's all fluffy and warm and rainbows and unicorns. Not by a long shot. And what is the divine trying to get out of the masculine by putting them through the divine lover's journey? The Queen of Cups. The most love that anybody can feel in tarot is the Queen of Cups. She's the sweetheart. Look, she's so wonderfully beautiful, caring, nurturing, loving, all of those beautiful feelings. So this is the push that is coming from the universe. This is how they're setting the room for the divine masculine at the moment to move through their journey, to be able to move into more of the King of Pentacles kind of energy and start getting to work on what needs to be done. Okay, let's grab a couple of... Can I put you to work again?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I get you to grab... Should we grab... I'll grab one for the divine feminine.
Yeah.
And you want to grab one for the divine masculine. And then we'll grab one for them both. So what I've got for you, divine feminine, is beyond connected. And this, I know this is what you're feeling right now. So it's like, as you're going through the really, the struggles of separation, which are, like I said, we understand that it's pain. Thank you. So we've got grounded there. We'll have a bit of a look at that in a sec. We've got, as you go through the struggle of separation, and like I'm saying, you can sit in suffering as you go through it. I know there's pain, but pain and suffering are different entities. And if we work together collective to support each other, divine feminines, and as our divine masculines come online, we support them as well. We know you are beyond connected. I know you're feeling these push-pull energies. I know that your soul space is like, it's hurting. And so instead of, you're going, do I dive into that pain or do I surround it with thinking myself out of pain? It's the reason that you're going through it is you are beyond connected. You're one, that one energy, soul, blueprint that the divine applied consciousness to and poured into two vessels. So this is why you feel the push-pull of what's going on right now and the intense struggle, the pain. But let's not stay in suffering. What's going on, what we've drawn for the divine masculine. And this is really important right now. Because like I was saying, the Schumann I keep saying residence, it's resonance. That's Mother Earth's heartbeat. So that has lifted in the past couple of weeks. It has risen a little bit higher, which will shake a lot of the population and they won't even know why. But people who are sensitive to spirit and people who are going through a journey like the divine masculine is right now will feel this innately. It could leave them feeling dizzy. It could leave them feeling rattled, feeling like they don't belong on the planet. There's some really massive energies that come about when the resonance lifts. On top of that, we do have the Sirius Gate open, which is another pull on spiritually sensitive people. And then we've had, I wish I could remember the name of that big machine that crushes particles. It's so exciting. They're looking for the smallest particles that they can find. They're looking for the God particle. And they fired up the machine again, I think yesterday. Or today even. Today. So they, that's rattling energy sensitive people as well. So it's really important that this grounding occurs. And if divine masculine is not really sure how to do that, he's going to be feeling it in his soul space. And guess what? That's going to make him feel horribly, horribly defensive because he's not going to want to bring anything in that's going to continue to rattle the cage. So that's going to play a part for him. If he can figure out how to get grounded in the next little bit, that's really going to help him to stop from feeling like he's in some kind of a prison and allow him to follow his feet with spirit. What did you draw for the connection? Ooh. I love this. This is beautiful. Good choice. True Seeker. This is gorgeous. So if you can imagine sort of, like this is kind of how we manifest here on the earth. And here we've got all of these versions of ourselves that exist in, like a 5D plane. So it's like where your soul space is, but it's a complex entity, your soul, and your mind, and the energies that exist to make you function. Consciousness is a complex energy. And Truth Seeker is really the kicker. The more that you can understand the how, the why, the where, and remember we were talking about you getting on your path with the Ace of Pentacles and moving more into your ascension journey. That's what Truth Seeker is. And Ricky's drawn this here for both parties, the divine feminine and masculine, which suggests there's a push on both parts. King of Pentacles getting to work, you with your Ace of Pentacles, moving to the next level of ascension or new levels of truth and understanding. Truth Seeker is a beautiful way to wrap up this reading and give you something to focus on as the next part of the cycle begins to unwrap. So divine feminine, I think this is, and masculine. If you're here watching, like I'm not suggesting that you're not, but by and large, we talk mostly to the divine feminine. So that was where where I directed my intention when I started this reading. I think that about wraps it up. But if you've watched this far, thank you so much. We're sending so much love and support to anyone who's suffering right now with, we know separation is brutal, and we want to help and support as much as we can, and share our message to as many people who need it, because we know it was important for us to have support and learn and grow during that phase. If you feel inclined, you like the way we deliver a message, please do the like, share, subscribe that we do on YouTube, and hopefully we get to talk to you again. Till we do, take care of you, and it's bye from us.
Goodbye.